The partner states agreed to have a joint standard gauge railway to ease transportation of goods and services in East Africa. When you look at the board member, the East African Business Council, Stuart Moisigwa, says that one of the major things was to remove borders and have a common market which will enable accessibilities of minerals. This and more, as Samuel Kirimunda reports.
Since 2016, the East African community has mobilized over $360 million from various development partners. These include USAID, the European Union, the World Bank and the African Development Bank, among others. The funds were to support various development projects and programs in the community. In addition to the above, the African Development Bank and African approved $2.5 billion for the implementation of new and ongoing priority infrastructure projects in the East African Community region up to the year 2022. Stuart Moisigwa, the board member of the East African Business Council, says they agreed to have a standard gauge railway transport and to remove borders in the East African community.
This investment at minimum is about $800 million. At minimum, but there are new technologies that are coming up, like using hydrogen, which also we are prospecting into that to see whether it would be much cheaper to use hydrogen instead of say natural gas. Yeah, we are doing a study already about it, and I think since our president also, His Excellency, is so much into value addition into whatever we are doing, yes, when we exploit this natural resource, there will be great value addition in as far as the steel industry is concerned. But another thing, we need to invest into human resource. We need to train Ugandans, as we have been doing, moving from one step to another. Even when you go and see our color coating line in Namamve, our galvanizing line, we actually adopted Japanese technology, and everybody knows what Japan is all about, as in steel. The cars which are in this world. I got a new president, much as she is following policies that have been formulated before, but there have been a number of changes. To my knowledge, I'm very aware they have changed the application if you want to invest there. They have relaxed somehow the conditions if you want to invest there. They have improved so much on their port, the Dar es Salaam port. It was a problem at some time in that everybody was going to Mombasa, but now they have also improved. And we're looking for a way of how we can have connectivity. Say Tanzania Railways Corporation, Kenya Railways, Uganda Railways, if they can come together and think together. You know, when the EAC collapsed, that's where some of the problems are coming from. But now I can see that from all the meetings we are having, there is a lot of goodwill for all these partner states to work together.
Roofing's group from Uganda is to construct iron core, which will cost $800 million as stated by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
All right, now let's look at Islamic banking, as experts have advocated for the adoption of Islamic banking in the country. Despite having a religious connotation, Islamic finance is not a religious product, but rather a financial product based on Sharia principles, as generally laid down in Islamic commercial law, which is sharing profits and losses. Today, our reporter Bronia Katusime explores the concept of Islamic banking and its impact on the economy.
In line with its constitutional mandate, the Bank of Uganda worked with Parliament to ensure legislation on Islamic banking. Islamic finance relates to financial activities that adhere to Sharia law. This includes embracing two fundamental principles of sharing profits and losses. The bank owns the commercial entity and the customer provides management and labor. The two then share the profits equally.
We have so many people accessing financial services at affordable rates, at affordable arrangement. Because when you look at these commercial banks, if you want to borrow, you must financially be sound to go and access these services. And we have seen that many people have suffered a loss. Banks have taken up they have sold the property of the borrower, and we have seen that people have sold off their property at forced sale value because of the pressure. So we know that there is a lot of effect because of the high interest rate at which these commercial banks charge their borrowers.
With it is, if you don't make a profit, you have no obligation to pay to the lender. Because remember, the lender came to help you, not to benefit from you. So unlike the other bank lending, whether you've made a profit or a loss, you have to pay the bank interest and the principal. So in this case, they are like, don't make money out of somebody who has not succeeded.
In case of business failure, the bank bears all the financial losses unless proven otherwise. It prohibits the collection and payment of interest by lenders and investors.
It's going to take 20% or 30%, and then the remaining will be yours. So that is sharing profits and sharing losses. So unlike these conventional banks, where for them they'll give you money, of course you have to put a collateral or security in terms of maybe property, land, and then you cannot get money more than the security you have put in place.
Islam considers money as a means of exchange. The value of one item is equal to the value of another. It's prohibited to earn interest or benefit from lending or borrowing. Islamic banks operate slightly differently in that they don't charge interest and savers can't earn interest in the traditional sense. Bronia Katsime, Business Today, Smart 24 TV.
All right, now the East African community has partnered with the Great Africa Cycling Safari to respond to challenges of climate change in the region. In this program, cyclists will travel across East Africa with intentions of promoting the goals of the East African Community Integration Agenda, which also include promoting trade and tourism and respond to the challenges of climate change.
The cyclists intend to create awareness of the goals of the East African community among the local people.
All aware, we have always been called upon to own the integration. We always see when you people report East African community, we see our leaders meeting and all that. But it has so much been in offices. Now, as cyclists, we chose to use a bicycle to carry this ESC integration, the ESC flag, from the offices where our leaders sit to the community, to the people that should own it, because we are the people who feel it.
The Minister for East African Affairs, who also doubles as the first Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honorable Kadaga, has applauded them for helping her perform her duties smoothly.
Common Market Protocol has 5 movements, 5 freedoms: freedom of movement of capital, which is here, movement of labor, movement of goods and services, and the movement of people is on this side. So 2 parts of the common market are coming together here to actualize our big programs. So welcome your support. I'm also happy to hear that you're engaged in the tree planting. Yesterday, I was visiting the cabinet presenting a big memorandum on how to restore the environment. And tree planting is a major area, so I'm glad that we're working on 10-year plan of action to restore the environment. We have the 1-year plan, 2-year plan, 3 to 5, 6 to 10 years. And a number of actions are going to take place. For instance, we are going to evict encroachers in the wetlands, those are illegal in the forests, who have built on the lake shores, people who have built on the rivers. We're also going to cancel title deeds which are illegally obtained. There are people who have obtained title deeds where they should not be, so they are going to be cancelled. So
promoting tourism. Now let's look at recycling business in Uganda, as there is a growing demand for plastic products across the country, and this is why it is important to acknowledge that recycling does not only combat climate change and conserve the Earth's primary resources, but it is also able to boost local employment around the world.
This business idea is based on the production of 36,400 plastic products per month, which translates into 436,800 products per year. The revenue potential is estimated at US dollars 21,331 per month, translating to US dollars 255,975 per year. Andrew Walusimbi of Uganda Small Scale Industry Association says the association has managed to engage the youth in the business by training them to deal in recycling plastics or wastes into reusable materials.
Recyclable material. For example, the peelings, the coffee husks, those that are degradable in a way. And then they taken through a process of burning. They are burnt, and then they're also taken through a process of drying, and then they are compacted. They have an area, a machine, where they are compacted, and after compacting, they actually get what they call the charcoal briquettes. These are eco-friendly briquettes that actually used in homes, used in industries, but also used in hospitals and furnaces.
He added that due to the unemployment gap among the youth today, the skill from the recycling will improve their income.
Adding to look at also the quality. So we have a quality control person into the process during the manufacturing and also during the packaging. Then we support them with marketing of these products. So on an average, we have groups. We've actually clustered them in groups, 5 to 10 youth that undertake the incubation. They bring in their material. We also look at where they get the material, but also if the material is dry. Because if it is not well prepared, then the machine is actually getting issues, especially in terms of maintenance, but also looking at the capacity. Because the machine has a capacity of 100 kilograms in an hour, so if it is underutilized, you'll see that the cost of production are going up. So within that process, we are also looking at how sustainable these young people can be. After the marketing, we have a Ziaduka that is for the association, where we actually support them to do marketing, but also linking them to the different marketing opportunities available. So when they get into the market, now we look at customer feedback. How is it working? Which kind of customers do we have, and how are they reacting to our product? So in a nutshell, we have actually supported over 20 groups at the moment. These 20 groups come in every day. So we give each group a day to come in and do the manufacturing and also do the drying. After the production, there is what they call the solar drying, for these briquettes to be stronger enough, to be able to be compacted enough and stronger, and also dry to the with appropriate technology, which is the solar drying, but also the temperatures that are needed.
However, apart from wastes, boxes and bottles, other things can be recycled, including textile products.
Offcuts. People have used those offcuts to come up with a number of products. For instance, we've seen people who make Ankara bed covers. They use the offcuts from their final products and they make such bed covers and they look beautiful. People have used those specific offcuts to make designs. They make like frames out of those offcuts. They make like wordings on the wall that also are from the offcuts.
Therefore, to curb the increasing environmental degradation, why don't we try recycling and get some money out of the waste? Joanna Bukalu, Smart 24, Business Today.
Away from that, now we look at the high commodity prices as due to the current economic situation, the restaurant owners have been forced to increase the food prices on each plate provided to a customer. Commodity prices began to rise in the month of April. Some of these commodities include sugar, maize flour, rice, tomatoes, among others, which has affected the final price of the byproducts from these commodities. Winnie Nakauchi with the report.
Kampala is registered to be with the highest inflation of 2.6% due to an increase in restaurants and accommodation services. Inflation for restaurants and accommodation services increased to 1.3% in July from 0.2%. One of the issues that the restaurants encounter is problems with the food costs. Smart24 today visited a restaurant owner who talked about the high prices.
Things everywhere, things are tough nowadays. But we found ways of how we can still survive in such kind of situation, whereby we try to increase on our prices. It do affects our customers, but the good thing, they can also understand the situation that we are in nowadays. So we tried to reduce some of the things we use, okay? We try to reduce some of the things we use, and again we increase on the price, you know. So, but the good thing, like I've told you, our people, our customers, we have, by the way, we have a good relationship with the customers. For us here at Natural, we go beyond the customer. We become friends. So in case things do change, we can talk to them as we talk to our friend, and they understand us, then we continue with the business.
The prices of most food items, including those locally produced, have also more than doubled. Following a sharp increase in fuel prices, most restaurants have increased the prices of their packages to cope with the expensive economy.
Increasing too much, so we just added in like 2,000. So we were selling chips and chicken of 13,000, but now it is 15,000. You know, here we make chikomando, chapatis and beans. Before the inflation, it was 5,000. So we added on just 1,000 to maintain. So it's now 6,000. Yeah, we've just added on just 1,000, 2,000, just because we know that even our customers where they work, things still hard.
According to the high food prices, here a plate of food is sold at 10,000 shillings, except chicken and fish that is sold at 12,000 shillings. A size of chapati here was reduced because of the high price of wheat flour. Just like any other sector in the country, they have also called upon the government to reduce fuel prices. Government should reduce prices because everything we do rotates on prices. We ask government to please reduce on the prices. We ask the government to reduce on the prices of the fuel because everything we do rotates on fuel. Winnie Nakauchi, Smart24, Business Today.
And that report takes us to a break. We return with more from Business Today. Stick around.